Hello, my queens and kings. Welcome to Pharaoh Tarot. I'm Butterfly Williams, and I'll be serving up a moonwave reading for the waxing moon in Taurus. What we do here at Pharaoh Tarot is channel ancestral wisdom for contemporary times through tarot and oracle card readings. And how I like to do that is I'll start off with a short, traditional West African prayer to the ancestors, followed by the initiation rite for the waxing moon in Taurus, followed by the pile selection, and then I will head into the piles. This site has an Afrofuturist aesthetic to it because I like helping America recover its African ancestral heritage. So you will notice that the piles are named after concepts from ancient Egypt. So there you go. That's how we roll here at Pharaoh Tarot. Let's get this reading started. Oh, and I do want to give a special welcome to the podcast listeners, as well as a fond welcome back to the YouTube subscribers. If you want the audio experience, you can go to your favorite podcast service. If you want the visual experience, then you can head on over to YouTube to Pharaoh Tarot with Butterfly Williams. Yes, I do need to let you know that Pharaoh Tarot is available for personal readings. This is a general reading that I'll be giving to you, so not everything may apply to your specific case. If you do want a reading that applies to you personally, please reach out to me at the information in the description box below. Okay. Oh, and also, if you're digging what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Would love to know what's going on with you. Okay, so let's get rolling. Omi tutu, ona tutu, ile tutu, tutu egun. Dear ancestors, I hope you enjoy the glass of cool, clear, fresh water and the lit candle that I provided for you. Please fill these cards with your love, your wisdom, and your compassion, and help guide me to give messages of love and abundance for all those who have gathered for the moonwave reading for the waxing moon in Taurus. Ashe. When we are talking about the waxing moon in Taurus, what do we really mean? Well, a waxing moon is about growth, development, learning, and getting on with the business of life. If each of the four major phases of the moon were a stage in the human life cycle, the waxing moon would be your child and early adulthood. It is fundamentally about learning how to do things, practicing things, applying your beginning knowledge towards the task or the goal at hand. I think I said in an earlier moonwave reading that waxing, may be my favorite phase, simply because it's really exciting. Things are new, things are fresh. The latest concept that you've heard about is something that you're eager to now put out into the world as a practice of yours. It's that kind of pleasure, that you get during the waxing moon. Things are still very fresh, with the waxing moon. Nothing has to be perfect, when you're dealing with a waxing moon, because you're learning, you're growing, you're perceiving, and you're applying, you're experimenting. A waxing moon is very much about, experimenting, figuring things out. In that way, a waxing moon can be kind of mysterious. Not as quite as mysterious as a new moon, where everything's still very much, in the dark. But there's still, the pleasure and the adventure. That's another good word, I think, for a waxing moon. There's the adventure of figuring things out. There's an adventure of, plunging, into the journey and getting your hands dirty with applying yourself, rolling up your sleeves and working towards something that you want to have or to become. So yeah, a waxing moon is a time of excitement and adventure. It's about, finally, giving up, turning inward, and engaging, turning outward, and really dealing with the world and learning how you can make the world, work for you. So then Taurus. When we're talking about Taurus, we're talking about coming into form, becoming solid. Because of this need to develop a form, inhabit a form, and become solid, Taurus is about sensuality. It's about the earth. It's about, growing in physical terms, solid terms, things that you can actually touch. So Taurus is very tactile. Taurus, has a reputation for being stubborn, and that's because Taurus is all about endurance. It's about lasting. It's about being a rock that was here yesterday, is here today, and will be here tomorrow. The symbol for Taurus is the bull. So bulls are great, until you mess with them, in which case they become very dangerous. Just like, matter is really great until you start tinkering with it, and then you have an atomic bomb, on your hand. So there's something, I guess, mystery was something I touched upon a little bit in the waxing discussion. There's something that's a bit mysterious about Taurus, in that, it's not just going to, give things up, to you, right away. You're going to have to really contemplate the material at hand in order for the Taurus energy to, yield its secrets to you. Taurus is known to have a taste for luxury. That's an extension of its drive to be very sensual and to experience the world in physical, material terms. So there's a drive for sensuality, a drive for luxury, and very often, since we are living in a material world, to quote that old Madonna song, our sense of self-worth can be related to Taurian matters. It's very dangerous to assume that one's self-worth depends upon how much stuff one has accumulated, but it's very hard not to do that in our capitalist society. So there is a challenge innate to Taurus about discovering where the true source of self-worth lies. Is it in the material world? If not, how can we even know who we really are, if we're not grounded in our physical being? So it's a very complex matter, self-worth and its relationship to the physical world. Yeah, I don't want to be judgmental about, how dare you think your self-worth depends upon, all the trinkets that you've amassed. Because the flip side of that as well, if you don't have any money in your bank account, it's going to be very hard for your self-esteem to, maintain itself. So there's something about, participating in the economy, keeping tabs on your self-worth and what's in your bank account, and, how much pleasure you are deriving from your physical surroundings. Taurus is a very creative sign because it's about knowing how to, manipulate materials in a way that is aesthetic. We need to remember that Venus, which rules, aesthetics, is the ruling planet of Taurus. So there is something artsy and crafty about Taurus. I believe Taurus is often associated with music because, manipulating a physical instrument is what gives us sound vibrations. And Taurus is very much about the body. So singing is, an important self-expression, for Taurus. So let's put this together with waxing. When we have a waxing moon in Taurus, we are about discovering, learning, applying ourselves in the physical world, in the world of material, in the world of economics, in the world of physically based creativity, music, voice. We are learning and growing within our bodies and learning how to make our self-worth sing, grounded in who we are in the physical world, but also creating our self-worth out of how we interact with the physical world. Groundedness is a very, very important learning opportunity when we are dealing with the waxing moon in Taurus. How do we create the solid foundation for us to grow and learn and become? That, my friends, is the waxing moon in Taurus. Let's move on to the pile selection. Pile number 1 is this Opalite crystal. This is for the House of Life, which is your guide to ordinary waking reality for this moonwave cycle. Then we've got the Mahogany Obsidian egg. This will be for the Temple of the Sun. This will be your guide to the behind-the-scenes workings of the world of spirit. So pile 2, the Mahogany Obsidian egg. Pile 3 is the Selenite tower. This will be the council, no. This will be the Valley of Paradise. And this will be your practical guidance for the moonwave cycle. Pile 3, the Selenite tower. And then pile 4 is the black tourmaline dodecahedron. This is for the Council of the Elders, and this will integrate all the wisdom from the previous 3 piles. So head on over to pile 4 with the black tourmaline dodecahedron for the Council of the Elders. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Opalite crystal for the House of Life, you are in the right place. This is your guide to ordinary waking reality for the moonwave cycle. What is the overall energy? It is the 4 of Swords. Rest, relaxation, contemplation, meditation, retreat. Trying to access your internal bliss by resting and meditating a bit. Withdrawing from the usual activities to create a place of contemplative quiet for you to access your inner knowledge and afford you the time to develop an inner plan based on deep, profound perceptions that you are giving yourself the space to receive. This is very much a card of downloads, of channeling, of being receptive to your inner nature, as well as the outer nature around you. It's very much a card of readiness. You'll notice that there's this one sword, which the man could easily just grab down and charge off into the distance with, if need be. There's also a picture of, what looks like the Virgin Mary or, some sort of saint right there. So it's very much about resting and contemplating so that you can come into touch with the divine and perhaps open up new powers and new channels of connection with the divine through your strategic rest. Very interesting overall energy to have. What's at the heart of the situation? The sun. Well, at long last, could there be a happy ending, to all the stress, turmoil, and drama of recent times? This situation is about people getting happy, making themselves happy, sharing the joy, getting in touch with their inner child, finally realizing what their inner bliss is and tapping into it. It's a great energy to have at the heart of the situation. What's in the upper world? What's the pressure here? Well, we're getting the Page of Pentacles. This is a newbie energy around economic opportunity or an opportunity to deal with the material world in some way. It can be a creative opportunity. The Page of Pentacles, like all of the court cards, is holding an ace in his hands. And this ace is a Ace of Pentacles, which would have to do with a new opportunity in the material world, in the environment. Everyone here is under pressure to realize that they are playing a new ball game in relationship to their finances, their job, what can be done with their finances and their job, what can be done with the environment and the material resources around them. What's in the lower world? Another page, the Page of Brooms. This is about being a newbie in the world of passion, excitement, action. So the motivation here is to be revitalized, to look at the world through new, fresh eyes that make the world an exciting place. So many of us have been dealing with experiences of frustration, stagnation, limitation, because of world events that have limited us. When the Page of Brooms shows up, they're not having any of that. They're wanting to start anew, afresh, and to do so with vigor and passion. So that's what's motivating the situation. What's going on with you directly? The Seven of Swords. Oh, you're feeling a little sneaky today, or people around you are feeling a little sneaky. The ancestors are telling me you're kind of wanting to get the hell out of Dodge. This sort of sneakiness feels justified. It's not like you're really wanting to deceive anyone. You're just kind of wanting to move on and to do so quietly. And you're not feeling any need to kind of broadcast what your activities are. To each his own. Let other people mind their own business while you just kind of move on, doing your own thing in quiet, in stealth, undercover. This energy actually resonates very well with the Four of Swords energy that is the overall energy of the moonwave cycle. What's in your upper world? The Queen of Machetes. This is the ultimate figure of no BS. The Queen of Machetes is a worldly wise woman who's been through quite a lot, and because she's been through quite a lot, she knows exactly what's what. And if you think you're gonna pull one over on her, you're sadly mistaken. When I refer to gender in these readings, please remember that I'm referring to energies. The Queen of Machetes could very well be a man or a non-binary person, as well as a woman. We're talking about energies here. This is the energy of not putting up with even the slightest bit of deceit, which is interesting since you have the card of deceit in your middle world. So if someone's trying to sneak away from you or pull one over on you, chances are you're going to see right through them. And this is why people may be feeling a bit intimidated by you, or you may be feeling a bit intimidated by others, because they're giving off this energy. What's your motivation? The Eight of Pentacles. It's all about work. You're very, very serious about your plans. You're very, very serious about achieving your goal. And you're going to do whatever it takes, no matter how long it takes, to get the job done. Perhaps this is why you are not letting anyone get away with the slightest amount of BS, around you. Because you've got your eye on the coin, and you're not going to let anything get in the way of the coin. And you're also wanting recognition for how much work you are putting into your plans. What's going on with the other? The Queen of Brooms. Well, you're dealing with someone who's passionate, charismatic, very active, very social. Queen of the social world. Knows a lot of people and organizes a lot of people and gets a lot done because of who she knows and how she organizes them. The Queen in any suit is the expressive energy of that suit. The one who knows how things get done. And well, the Queen of Brooms especially knows how things get done. She's not just theorizing about it, she's actually out and about making it happen. So you are dealing with someone who is very much about making things happen. What's in their upper world? The Queen of Cups. Well, okay, you are dealing with someone who's very powerful and authoritative, because not only does this person know how to make things happen, she knows how to make things happen in a way that brings people into emotional alignment, that makes them feel good about themselves. This person is under pressure to demonstrate her emotional intelligence. And she's also probably very creative. The Queen of Cups is the most beautiful of the queens. She's very well put together. The way she dresses, the way she speaks, the things she talks about. Beauty, beauty, beauty. She just emanates the essence of looking good. Could be an artist of some sort. What's in the motivation? Ooh, well, the Three of Swords. So there's more than meets the eye with this person. There's been some sort of heartbreak, emotional turmoil. Someone let them down. Or perhaps they let someone down. There very well could be, in addition to regret, guilt. It's very often the case that, there's no clear-cut villain. Things were complex. It was a complex situation. People did things that perhaps they shouldn't have done, but at the time seemed like the only thing to do. Maybe they were doing it because it was what other people were doing and they felt that it was okay so long as other people were doing it. Or perhaps they felt under pressure, to do it because other people were doing it and they wanted to maintain their relationships with those people. Yes, the ancestors are telling me this is a complex situation indeed, but the ultimate end of all that was heartbreak. Someone lost out big time. So, as much, bluster and savoir-faire and beauty as this other person may be projecting, there's some deep hurt underneath it all. And I must say before I move on to the outcome, we know that the heart of the situation is happiness. You're kind of wanting to sneak away, and that's your strategy for getting to happiness. And this person is, kind of covering up their heartbreak by, being the social butterfly. And that's their strategy for happiness. What's the outcome? The Ace of Machetes. The ancestors are screaming at me, breakthrough. When the Ace of Swords shows up, this is about, cutting through the BS in a big way by adopting a completely new way of thinking about something. This new ideology, if you will, this new way of looking at the world, this new plan for dealing with the complexities of existence, almost always means that you're going to begin cutting out what no longer serves you. You're using the Ace of Machetes to cut a pathway through the jungle. What that means physically is that you're going to be rewiring the neurons, in your brain with a completely mind-blowing new perspective on how to think about your life and the lives of others. The Ace of Machetes is always, one of the most powerful cards in the tarot deck. And what is in the upper world? Rite. The Two of Wands. A choice. Which path are you going to go down? You've been given this Ace of Swords so that you can cut a new pathway. You don't want to go down the pathway of sterility, a place that leads nowhere, where you're dealing with people who you can't relate to and really can't help you. You want to go down the path that leads to the world, that gives you a whole new world, that opens up doors to a whole new world of possibility. And you've been given this Ace of Swords that you can cut your path, through the jungle to get to that door that opens up to this world of new possibilities. What's the motivation for this outcome? The Knight of Machetes. Yes, fair amount of sword energy out on the tray. The Knight is not content to just, sit around thinking about what he's going to be, doing. He is going to actually do something about what he's thinking. He's going to put a plan in operation with this Ace of Swords. This new idea is now going to become a plan and a project. The Knight of Machetes is not content to change just his own thinking. He wants to change the thinking of the people around him. You have been granted an Ace of Machetes because you are going to be the person who revolutionizes the thinking of the people around you. What is your advice for the moonwave cycle? The Five of Wands, competition. You are going to be in some sort of social situation where other people are going to be very interested in what you're doing, and a fair number of them aren't going to like it. They are the competition. They're going to be thinking, well, why is she or he or they the one that gets introduced the new way of thinking? I should be the one who gets introduced the new way of thinking. People should think like me. You, of course, are going to have a thing or two to say about that. So you are going to need to be on your toes. You're going to have your wits about you. And that is why you are so interested in rest. You don't want to just launch yourself into the fray all pell-mell with no plan and no sense of inner guidance. You need to be rested up so that you can enter this social arena grounded in who you are, knowing what your plan is, and being convinced that your goal is the right one, and that your plan is the right one, and that you are the person who is best qualified to fulfill this plan and reach the goal. The ancestors are telling me that some of these people you are competing with may very well end up being your allies once you demonstrate, once you prove yourself, once you show that you are the leader. There's some other cards peeking. Yeah, wow. Very interesting. Yeah, you'll be needing to contemplate, how you can get out of any sort of self-sabotage. What sketchy situations have you had to deal with in the past that can, that hopefully you've learned from, that can, help you move forward. Yeah, and what kind of give and take you'll be needing to engage in to move yourself forward. These are things for you to contemplate upon, because the other side, all your competitors, are going to be contemplating on those topics, as well. Yeah, let's see what deeper dimensions of the advice can we give you as well. Yeah, turn inward to get your inner illumination. That fits in very well with the Four of Swords energy. Right. When you think of a plan going forward, err on the side of passion. What really lights your fire, what really gets your sense of inner bliss activated. Right, and remember that you're already a success. Whether or not you beat out the competition, you have already accomplished a great deal. Okay, so you can be confident in that. Be confident in yourself, as you deal with the competition. But yeah, get ready to rumble, baby, because that's part of what this moonwave cycle is about. So we'll do a quick summary before we move on to pile 2. This situation is about happiness. This is about everyone getting in touch with their inner child and finally following their inner bliss. One strategy for you to do that is to kind of sneak away quietly from whatever mess you no longer, want to deal with, while the other is going to come off as being, all passionate and charismatic, although they're covering up some heartbreak. And what this all leads to is a massive breakthrough, a massive realignment grounded in people's thinking. When we are dealing with the waxing moon in Taurus, we are learning about how to ground ourselves in a way that supports our bank account, our creativity, and our self-worth. This waxing moon is about a intellectual, mental breakthrough in those areas. If any of this has resonated with you, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Otherwise, Pharaoh Tarot is very grateful for you spending time with us. Let's move on to pile 2. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the Mahogany Obsidian egg, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Temple of the Sun. Let us give thanks and praise to the great and holy Mother, Set, as she enfolds us in her wings of love, giving us guidance to the behind-the-scenes workings of the world of spirit. Okay, so we know the overall energy is the Four of Swords, and the overall advice is the 5 of Wands. So we are resting and contemplating, even as if we are doing, even though we know we are going to have to head into competition with the other. Well, the heart of the situation is the 3 of Swords. This situation involves some sort of massive heartbreak. a lot of emotional turmoil. Something went down in the past that really shook everyone to their roots. There may have been some kind of betrayal of some sort. There may have been massive misunderstandings that led to a breakup. The ancestors are telling me, yes, a lot of people went, their separate ways because there was not an emotional alignment. There were a lot of misunderstandings that led to very hurtful actions. What's in the upper world? The Empress. People are under pressure to demonstrate social creativity. By social, I mean, gathering people together, organizing them in a way that aligns them with some kind of goal, creativity, any sort of action which makes the world a better place. The Empress, as it were, is wanting to heal the past heartbreak by bringing people together with her considerable resources. When we're dealing with an Empress, we are dealing with the creme de la creme, of society, as it were. Someone you can easily imagine as an embodiment of the Empress is like a Beyonce. Someone who is ultra beautiful, ultra creative, ultra wealthy, has it going on in every way imaginable. There could be a person like this who is involved in this situation and wanting to, corral everyone together to, fix this heartbreak. Or it simply could be that, there are a group of people who sort of embody those same qualities that are putting pressure on this situation to deal with the emotional turmoil of the past. What's the motivation in this situation? Ooh, the devil. Yes, well, issues of lust and sexuality and perhaps addiction, may have contributed to this situation, may still be contributing to this situation. There's a sense of people not being forthright, about these very, tricky issues. There's also people being very judgmental about these kinds of issues. And between the complexity of it all and the differing perspectives that people are bringing to these issues, there has been a lot of misunderstanding in the past. There's been a lot of hurtful actions in the past. And these are continuing because these issues were never resolved in any satisfactory manner. These issues are continuing to shape actions in the present. What's going on with you directly? Ooh, the Ace of Baskets, the Ace of Cups. There is a new opportunity for love, healing, understanding, compassion at your doorstep. Answers are telling me that you may actually be the one who's actually offering this Ace of Cups rather than receiving it. But it could go either way. You certainly have it within you to help resolve this situation in a very, very positive way, in which the hurts of the past actually get healed, or at least are, put on the path of healing. So you have every reason to look up, be happy, expect a good result. What's in your upper world? Yes, and this is confirmed by the North Star, the star, the ultimate card of healing, of wishes fulfilled, of recognition. Perhaps you were, denied some recognition in the past, and now there's an opportunity for that to happen, and you will be recognized for being the Ace of Cups, bringing the love into the situation, the love and the healing. But there's definitely a sense of you being guided by spirit, being helped out. There's something, an important step in your destiny is about to occur because of you offering the Ace of Cups. Well, death is in your motivation. You are absolutely determined to bring this situation to a final close for once and for all. You are someone who knows where the skeletons in the closet are. You know where the skeletons lay buried. There's been a certain amount of darkness in your past, but you're shining like a star amidst that darkness. What's going on with the other? Aunt Caroline, the Wheel of Fortune. The other is looking for a positive turn of events. They're wishing for good luck. And they're probably going to get it. They actually could be the good luck that helps to turn this situation around. They may present you with an opportunity that allows you to shine forth as the Ace of Cups that you are. Wow, they've got the Conqueror, the Emperor in their upper world. So, Spirit is bringing out the heavy guns, with both the Empress and the Emperor in the upper world here. You will definitely be dealing with actual people who have a lot of power to affect your destiny. Certainly this other, with all this major arcana showing up in their spirit world, is going to have a lot of juice, for you to contend with. They are under pressure to demonstrate control of the situation. They are under pressure to protect their empire and to show the benefits that empire has, not just for themselves, but for you. There is a sense here of the door swinging open to you, but only after the other has given their, approval. What's in their motivation? Yeah, another major arcana, Justice. Right. Something unjust went down in the past. And now they realize that they're going to have to be the ones who rectify it. It's actually very straightforward. The situation is out of balance, and they need to bring it in balance. And they are the ones who have the power and the authority to right the wrong. What is the outcome? The Four of Wands. A beautiful outcome. A celebration of community, of home, of relationship. There may or may not be a home involved, a house or some other physical structure, a church involved. This is very much, and there's this air of celebration about this. And it's a very embodied celebration. It's not happening just in people's minds, it's happening out in the environment. What is in the upper world? Well, just as it was in the first pile, the Two of Wands. Here the Two of Wands is depicted as these two rams kind of butting heads over a bowl of water and an anvil. This Two of Wands is about work and nourishment and resolving tensions. You're going to be hammering out a new pathway that leads to the nourishing waters of inspiration, and it will resolve past contentions. And what's in the motivation of the outcome? The Six of Coins, here depicted by a young princess discovering Moses in the Nile. A whole new world of possibility, rescued from danger, happening through exchange of cultures, exchange of money, bringing things into balance by trading resources that nurture new life, a new generation. Yes, on the face of it, this situation may not seem like that much, just may seem like a petty competition, but actually the issues that are implied by the situation cut really, really deep. That is why we have the Three of Swords in the heart of the situation. But you are fully capable of bringing new love, new compassion, deep emotional intelligence to this situation in hopes of healing this Three of Swords. And the other is very much, hoping for a strange twist of fate that makes everything whole again. And they may be even coming into the realization that they have the power within their hands to bring about this miraculous change of situation. And it looks like it is all aiming towards the Four of Wands, a blissful celebration of community, of home, of relationship. This is a very, very dramatic situation with very high stakes involved. But if everyone comes together in the right way, in emotional alignment, it will lead to heaven on earth. That is the Temple of the Sun. Let us give thanks and praise to the Great and Holy Mother Aset and move on to pile 3. Hello. If you chose the Selenite Tower for pile 3, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Valley of Paradise. Let us give thanks and praise to the Great and Holy Father Asar as he gives us practical guidance for the waxing moon in Taurus. We know that the overall energies are the Four of Swords, which is rest and relaxation and contemplation. We know that the overall advice is the Five of Wands, having to deal with competition. What is in the heart of the situation, though? Well, it's the lily. Very interesting, because this was also in the heart of the situation for the previous moonwave phase, and I shuffle these cards like relentlessly. So there is something about the lily energy that is very dominant in the collective right now. The lily stands for sexuality, romance, and relationship. Getting physical about our emotional intentions. The lily also stands for beauty, the exquisite states of consciousness that the deepest expressions of our physicality can bestow upon us if approached in the right manner. The lily, even as it implies getting down and dirty, it demands purity. The lily is an expression of beauty. It wants sexuality to be applied in the right ways. Ways that enhance life, that lead to new birth, that lead to rebirth. It's a great card to have in the context of the waxing moon in Taurus, because it really is one of the higher expressions of materiality, physicality, life itself. What's in the upper world? Mysteries, yes. I talked a little bit about mysteries in the initiation rite. This situation very much has to do with the mysteries of sexuality. What are we covering up? And what do we yearn to uncover when we are in a sexual situation? That's on everyone's minds. What's in the motivation of the situation? The Adinkra symbol is Mapata Por, pacification not, a symbol of forgiveness and reconciliation. Right. The mystery of sexuality here has to do with forgiveness and reconciliation. Are we going to let bygones be bygones, or are we going to continue to beef? Are we going to use sexuality as a way to wound and protest? Are we going to use sexuality as a way to come together? What's going on with you directly? Your strength is admirable, but now is the time to receive support. Are you willing to be vulnerable enough to ask for help? Are you going to become soft enough to, reveal that you're willing to accept help? Will you signal to others that you are ready to join forces, rather than shut them out? What's in your upper world? Domatef, the Earth Spirit. Let's read from the book. As a jackal-headed deity of the north, Domatef is one of the 4 disciples or sons of Horus, and he guards the stomach organs of the deceased in canopic jars. He is also seen standing in a lotus flower to indicate his ability to transform organic matter to light. Under the protection of Neith, the ancient mother goddess, he can also work alchemically with the living during the process of initiation to release old toxins. Right. That's key, to release old toxins. You are under pressure to release old toxins. Channeled message from Domatef. You see me as guarding the remains of the dead, but I am here to say that I work with the principle of transmutation, transforming organic substances into vital energy. Call on me and Anubis when you have problems with digestion, being ungrounded, or have a lack of abundance. Right. You are under pressure to transform past toxic situations that left you ungrounded or, left you in the poorhouse. What's your motivation? Your power animal is the fire salamander. You are undergoing a necessary transformation. Be open to growth and change. Cleanse all areas of your life to restore balance. Well, that's a great energy to have with Domatef in your upper world. You are undergoing a necessary transformation. Part of that transformation has to do with you being willing to accept help. Be open to growth and change. Cleanse all areas of your life to restore balance. You may want to make a ritual of, cleaning up your space, or, cleaning out your relationships, whatever that means to you. Whether it means cutting them off or having the talks that you need to have with people to clarify things. Clarify your needs and your wants, your desires. What's going on with the other? Sexual healing. Sexual energy can be used to reconnect. Let your bodies release some tension and enjoy pleasure. Yes, well, if you're in a relationship already, then you know what to do. If you're not, perhaps playing the field might lead to some deep transformations. Or perhaps there just need to be some frank discussions about sexuality amongst you and your friends to unleash some new possibilities for you. I can't tell you how many times I get this card and I shuffle these decks over and over. In the upper world of the other is Kansu, lunar energies, divine timing, blood mysteries. Yeah, I've seen this card so frequently that it finally dawned on me that the ancestors are indeed giving their support to this whole moon wave concept that I have for these readings, because this card depicts a moon and it depicts a wave, a rather overwhelming tsunami kind of like wave in the distance there. But all these lotus flowers, which are a symbol of beauty and spirituality in ancient Egyptian culture. Kansu, right. They are needing to act with right timing. They are needing to act, in accordance with, monthly cycles, which are, a double-edged sword of both pain and release. They are under pressure to transform things according to a schedule that leads to transformation. That leads to unveiling the secrets of the moon, of the receptive energies, of the darkness, and unleashes a potential of renewal. What's in their motivation? Honesty. That card came up last time as well. There's, the legend here says, with the tongue one can destroy the town and save the town, control the tongue. Right. They are going to be concerned with what is true and what is not true. They are going to be hearing a lot of gossip, perhaps spreading gossip, but then also needing to evaluate how helpful that kind of talk is. What's the outcome? Don't count the days, make the days count. There's a need for everyone to be in action, to, move forward with their eyes on the clock. Don't waste time. What's in the upper world? Link with those on the same wavelength. Right, get connected. There's been so much talk about sexuality, here in the Valley of Paradise. If one's going to engage in sexual activity, it should be with people who are on the same wavelength. How about, high vibration sexuality as opposed to low vibration sexuality? What's in the motivation of the outcome? Trust. Don't trust what you are being told. There is more to this situation. The answers lie within the finer details which are not being shared with you. Very interesting. Certainly when you're dealing with matters of sexuality, you're dealing with issues of trust. But then given that, the other is concerned with honesty, there's going to need to be a concern with, are you being told the full story? Is what you hear actually in correspondence with the facts? The honesty, the truth, the facts, these all impact whether or not we can trust what we hear or who we are hearing. So this outcome, is about, making the days count, but that's the actions that we are undertaking are mediated by linking with people on the same wavelength and knowing whether or not we can trust those people. Wow, this is a complex, and deep Valley of Paradise here. At the heart of the situation is the lily. Matters of sexuality, sensuality, beauty, and purity. Rather than be strong and defensive, you need to be receptive and willing to take in others' support. This support may actually come through an act of sexuality or a discussion of sexuality, with the other. And it's important that you get on it. We need to make the days count. That is your guidance from the Valley of Paradise for the waxing moon in Taurus. If any of this has resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment. And now we're going to move on to pile 4. If you chose the black tourmaline dodecahedron, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Council of the Elders, where we will integrate all of the wisdom from the previous 3 piles. Okay, so at the heart of the situation is the sun. Inner bliss, total happiness, fulfillment of what the inner child set out to do. And yet, it's contemplated by past heartbreak, emotional turmoil, some situation that, left everyone devastated. And it's looking like that situation had to do with sexuality of some sort. The lily wants a sexuality that is pure and that leads to birth. But something went massively awry in the past that led to a breakup, a shattering of some sort. And yet, this situation is driving everyone towards the ultimate happiness of the sun. It's looking like for the inner child to get its needs met, a whole lot of illumination is going to have to be shed on this Three of Swords situation, and it's intimately entwined with matters of sexuality. What's in the upper world? Yes, the Page of Pentacles. There's a bunch of newbies running around with a business opportunity, perhaps a creative opportunity, something that will, lead to more money down the line. They are under a lot of pressure to act like an empress, to command considerable resources, especially social capital, to bring everyone into alignment with a vision that benefits the community at large. That is quite a bit of stress to put on a Page of Pentacles, who is nowhere near the Empress level. So this is a complex situation. How to get these Page of Pentacles to align with the Empress is a grand mystery, because this Page of Pentacles is going to have to sort through a bunch of mysteries in order to step into their Empress power. That kind of pressure is what's being put onto this situation. People are really needing to level up. The motivation of the situation is the Page of Brooms, wanting to look at the world with fresh new eyes that revitalize everything and spark a new kind of passion. But that is being complexified by the Devil. The past issues of acting out, of sexuality, perhaps addictions, certain sketchy situations, make it hard for the Page of Brooms to, skip through life with passion and excitement and hope. But we can get there if we are willing to forgive and reconcile. We have the pacification knot showing up in the motivation of the situation, of people coming together in forgiveness and reconciliation of devilish situations in the past so that the revitalization can happen. What's going on with you specifically? You are wanting to sneak away from the situation. It's looking like things were very heavy and dark in the past, and who needs that anymore? The world of spirit is giving you an Ace of Cups. Within your heart lies love, compassion. Within your heart lies the key to togetherness, a very deeply fulfilling togetherness. Are you going to sneak away with that, or are you going to offer it to the whole? That's your challenge. Your strength is admirable, but now is the time to receive support. It could be that someone is going to offer you this cup of love, and you need to be willing to receive it rather than sneaking away. Or it could be that the way you get support is by offering this Ace of Cups. And maybe you're not able to offer the Ace of Cups unless you sneak away from things that are not serving you. What's in your upper world? You're under a lot of pressure to manifest your inner wisdom by speaking up about your past and not tolerating, any monkey business in regards to, who you are or what your plans are or what went down in the past. You need to be very, very sharp-eyed and crystal clear about what went down and how you won't be tolerating any nonsense going forward. And you are also being blessed with the star, the North Star, guidance to hope and healing, reconciliation. And furthermore, you're getting the Earth Spirit, Domatef, the ability to transform toxic situations into productive energy. Domatef is also about transforming situations of lack into situations of abundance. And that's probably what's motivating you to work very, very hard. Time to get those finances in shape, live that life of luxury that you want, right? All those old toxins from the past, all those negative situations, you are determined, absolutely determined to bring to an absolute and final end. Right, because you are totally motivated to bring about a transformation in your life. You are more than open to growth and change, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to cleanse out all the negativity, to restore balance to your life. That's what's motivating you. What's going on with the other? Well, they're the Queen of Brooms. They are all charisma, all action, all beauty and light. It's looking like they have the power to bring about a fortunate change of events, or at least that's what they're hoping for. And it's looking like that will happen through sexual healing. There may be a miraculous sexual encounter between you two that turns everything right for once. What's in their upper world? They are under pressure to show they are all that, to demonstrate their emotional intelligence, to bring beauty into the world through their relationships and whatever kind of creativity they have to offer. And they have the power to execute that, and how. They are the conqueror. They are the emperor. They are in control. They have an empire that allows them to display their beauty in force. And it looks like they're being given the gift of right timing. They have a plan that they can execute over time to bring in waves of beauty and abundance. What's in their motivation? Yes, the Three of Swords, to heal the heartache, to do whatever reconciliation is necessary to set the past on the course to its final rest, to finally get over the emotional trauma and replace it with peace of mind, peace of heart. It's looking like they have the power to do this because they've been given justice in their motivation. They want to make things right. They want to balance out the situation. They want the good karma of justice to prevail, not only for themselves, but for everyone. And they know that this can only be achieved through honesty. Gossip is only going to get them so far. What's in the outcome? A new way of thinking that revolutionizes everything. A new perspective that sheds light on an old situation and opens the way for a new, positive, bright future. A new way of thinking always implies that an old way of thinking and things that were no longer serving you or others will be cut out. The way, the light, and the truth is going to suddenly show up. And that creates the Four of Wands, a celebration of community, of home, of relationship. And the reason you're getting so busy about this is who doesn't want to, replace a Three of Swords situation with a Four of Wands? This is why you're making the days count. Everyone's making the days count. People are wanting to get busy with being happy. What's in the upper world of the outcome? Well, it's under pressure to have people be put on the right path, to avoid the path that's going nowhere and, get on the path that leads to the world of happiness, a world of new possibilities. And that's double confirmed by the world of spirit because it's the Two of Wands again. Working really hard to get to the kind of nourishment that allows the fights of the past to be set aside. And ultimately, this is all about linking with those on the same wavelength, creating a high vibrational social situation. Getting in touch with people who can help you do whatever it is you want to do and enjoy the process. What's the motivation of this outcome? The Knight of Machetes, putting into action ideas that make a difference in people's lives. Not just sitting around thinking about, the past or thinking about, how issues in the past might be resolved, but actually getting out there and doing it, spreading a new way of thinking that allows people to enjoy their lives. And doing this through the Six of Coins, give and take, generosity, charity, philanthropy, putting your money where your mouth is, recognizing that the new generation is coming down the Nile and you want to take care of the baby so that it will raise up to be the savior of a civilization. Trust. So much of this, I guess I need to pause and say, I realize that I've painted a grand vision here that seems very, very high stakes. Well, this is the thing. We think that our actions are little or small, that we don't count, but the reality is that all of our actions count. Everyone counts, and it all adds up to something big, something grand, something powerful and sweeping. Everything is connected to everything else. There can be no grandness without our smallness. And that means we have to carefully evaluate things that are being told to us. We can't trust, just every piece of gossip that floats through our ears. There's always more to the situation, and we need to think very carefully by resting, relaxing, and contemplating. We give ourselves the space to evaluate what we can trust and what we can't trust. Wow. This A waxing moon in Taurus is a complex one. It's not that surprising that, issues of sexuality have come up, because Taurus is associated with sexuality and sensuality, like at the most basic level of who we are literally in the material world as a physical body. We are contemplating all of those issues, taking time out to rest, relax, and contemplate how we're literally showing up in competitive social situations that, involve issues of sexuality. And it's important for us to realize that, being strong is admirable. We all want to be warrior kings and warrior queens. But now is the time to receive support. Now is the time to listen. Now is the time to embody Empress energies that allow us to generate social creativity. We are being called to really engage the mysteries of, how do we step up? And we know a lot of that is about releasing negative social energies of the past. The ancestors are telling me, pay attention to your body, your body's needs for rest, your body's needs for activity. Pay attention to food, which is a very Taurian subject. How you nourish yourself in all ways, on all levels, is very important. Nourishing yourself would be the key to coming out on top of the competition. And nourishing yourself is something for you to contemplate during this moonwave cycle. That, my friends, is the Council of the Elders. If any of this has resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you from all of us at Pharaoh Tarot. Thank you from the ancestors. The ancestors have spoken.